hi and hello. It's the end of the month again, and you know what that means. It's time for my October wrap up. And to be fair, I've read a couple of books this month, like around 17. I did start a new book today. So if I have finished this before the end of the month, I will include it in like the end of this video as like a bonus clip, since I haven't read it right now, and I will keep you updated. But this is my wrap up. In total, I read 16 books so far. Like I said, it could be 17. I'm not entirely sure, but this is gonna be a long one because a couple of books have been read, and yeah, we're gonna chat. So grab a drink, grab a snack, and we're gonna get. Okay, so I had to really quickly make my phone like great again. Like, it was a bit crooked, and I hope it's not crooked right now, because I have like a new standard for my phone and such that, because I wanted a different background than my normal video, so I had to think of a different way to get my phone higher up. So yeah, we're gonna get right into it. This is gonna be like no particular order that I read it, because they're all over the place right now. So yeah. But the first book I have is Conditions of Will. They almost dropped to the floor. Oh my god. I saw like them flip over, but they're still on my bed, so it's kind of a mess. I rated this 4 stars. I might not know every rating of every book that I read, but in this book we follow Georgia, and she is a bit of the outcast in her family, and her family is very religious, and you see her struggle through it because she isn't the most religious type girl, and you follow her as they battle through an inheritance. I kind of forget what this book was about, but I do know I really liked it. I really enjoyed my time with it. Like 4 stars. Like, some of the quotes were really impactful, and her writing really gets me. But you follow Georgia as they find out her father's inheritance, because her father dies. It's on the back, okay? I'm not spoiling anything. But, her brother, he is a bit of outcasted, because like I said, they're religious and it didn't go that well. So you follow them as a family and everything, and a lot happens, because they don't go well, so it's really drama filled. If you get like Magnolia Park's drama, it's the same. So I really liked it for like the drama and the writing, and I think the characters were fun as well. There was like some type of romance going on as well, but the romance didn't get me like that much, because there was so much going on with all these characters that I sometimes lost it, what was going on. But still a very good book. Like, if you like Magnolia Parks, you should pick it up. If you don't like Magnolia Parks, maybe set it aside. Like I said, they have a lot of similarities to each other, so that's why I think if you don't like Magnolia Parks, you will probably also not like this one. But you can always check for yourself. Then I have read Wolfie by Paisley Hope. I read this on my plane to Edinburgh, and when we were at Edinburgh, like, I finished it at like 3 AM because I couldn't sleep, and I rated it 3.5 stars if I remember correctly. If I'm not saying it correctly, I will edit my rating in the screen, but I think it was a 3 or 3.5. She moves to this small town after she breaks up with her long-term boyfriend, because their futures don't match up with each other. She wanted to get married, he wanted to break up, because he was moving to the city and all of that. So due to that, she moves to this small town where there is a motorcycle gang. He is a old military man, and he has like PTSD and everything. I really liked it. Like, Paisley Hope. I'm currently also on our street team. It's a quick side note, but Paisley Hope, I really liked it. Like, the only reason I didn't really rate it this higher than I should or I could is because of the spice scenes in here. There's like a lot, and sometimes I felt like they were not as necessary as they are, or as they were, because, you know, they just had a battle because something happened, and then a second later they're going at it together. It wasn't for me personally, but I know Dove comes out the 1st of January next year, and I will pick it up. Like I said, I really liked these books, but I'm going to Dublin the 2nd of January, so this is gonna be on my radar to look for it there. But still, I really liked it. If you're looking for a quick, fun read, this is it. Then I have Soul Searching by Lila Sage. This is her newer series. I have read Rubber Blue Range as well by her. It didn't start off as great, but I thought like, okay, I'm gonna read the rest, because I read Done and Dusted like 2 years ago, and then I didn't pick it up. Like, didn't want to read the rest of the series, but never saw the book, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna read the second book, and then I read the second book, and I was like, okay, fun, we're gonna pick this up. So now I have her newest book. This was a 3.5 stars, I do know that. I really like this. This is also a small town romance. She moves from like the city back to her home because she lost touch with her ghost speaking abilities, if I say it correctly like that. And then she meets Brady, and you know, it's a romance book, so stuff happens, they get in love and everything, but the tension and the chemistry, I really like the characters together. Like, they were like the couple. The only downside, I think, is also like some spy scenes. Like, don't get me wrong, I like spy scenes, but sometimes they're too much for me. Like, there is maximum amount of spy scenes you can get in a book, like, you know, like. But yeah, like I said, her writing didn't always connect with me. That's also the problem I had with Rubber Blue Range, is that her writing sometimes feels off to me. It doesn't always connect. Like, the first half was very great, fast-paced, everything, and then the second half was a bit mad for me. Like, I was like, okay, we're gonna need to get going now. But still, I think I read this in like 2 days, so pretty great book as well. And so happy I got the works edition. It's so beautiful. Like, it fits together so well. If I like this color of orange, I like that it's coming back here. Like, it just is like, they did it. I have Road Trip with a Vampire. I read this when I was in Edinburgh and on a plane back home. When I read Wolfie, I went to Edinburgh. This is when I read it when we're going home. I actually wanted the works edition. They didn't have it, but that's a whole different story. But I've rated this 4 stars. I really liked it. Jenna Levine. I read My Roommate is a Vampire and My Vampire Plus One. I also like these. Like, the humor in this, the characters were fun, the chemistry was there. There was a plot, like, stuff was happening, fast paced. I really liked it. That's what I really like about her books. Like, they're, I wouldn't say big, but like average amount of length, but it didn't feel this big when I read it. Like, I was going through it, like, I was like, okay, next page, next page, next page. I really liked it. Like I said, I think I read like half of it on the plane back home, and it's not even a 2-hour flight from Germany to Edinburgh, because we flew through Germany there. Yeah, so like I said, really fun. So in this book you follow Zelda and Peter. Oh, I think of Peter like an old man. Peter is such an old man name, and Peter is like a Dutch name. So if I think of Peter, I'm gonna say Peter. That's like the Dutch pronunciation. Quick side note. But I really liked it, and you follow them because she is a witch, and she doesn't want to do anything with being a witch and everything that comes with it. She's like, okay, I've had my fair share of moments, and she's a very strong witch as well. So, but things have gone wrong in the past, so she's like, okay, I'm not gonna do magic ever again. I'm not gonna touch it. Not gonna be around it. So everything that has to do with witchcraft, she has stuffed away in a box. that box is very important throughout this entire book. And then you have Peter, and he is amnesiac. He kind of forgot what happened up until everything. He knows his name because it was on the ID, and he knows where he came from. And yeah, so they go on this road trip to get his memories back. She's like, in the beginning, she's very like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be a part of anything with like this kind of stuff. Because, you know, she stopped being a witch. Well, she didn't stop, but, you know, it's like, she distanced herself from everything that came with it. And then they go on this road trip, and things seem to settle between them. And, you know, like I said, she really writes it in a humoristic way. That it was like, okay, this is really fun, actually. So, yeah, 4 stars. You should pick the series up. I think I read My Roommate is a Vampire 3 years ago right now. I think. It came 3 years ago now. I ate this up. Like, this entire series, I have ate this up every single time. Every single book. And I need... If there's gonna be next book, I need it. It's stunning. Then I have Burning Daylight by Emily McIntyre. This came out in the end of the last day of September, I think. The 30th of September, and I read it in October. Like every book by Emily McIntyre, I really liked it. Like, her writing is just, her writing always connects to me. Like, I don't have like any problems with the way she writes her books. It's just that book for me, so I rated this 5 stars. There was no other way that I could have rated this book. Like, Emily is my woman. I really liked it. So this is like a modern day Romeo and Juliet retelling, but mix it in with drama. Like, there is this Rosebook rack thing as like a newspaper, basically just drama filled. Like, it was so much fun. And yeah, she's Juliet, get away. And, you know, she moves back home because stuff happens, and she needs to be back home because there's like things going on. And then Roman Montgomery, he has stuff with his dad. Like, his mom and dad, they fell out of love. God, you know, stuff happened. They think he's dead, you know, so he's dead. And he moved also back to the city because he needs his dad's help with money. As you set up like the whole story, like what's going on, why is he dead, what happened with his dad, why are they pretending to be gone, why do they need money? So it's pretty fun. Like I said, it's a thick book, but I think I read it in like also 2 days. Most of the books I read in 2 days. So yeah, really liked it. I could go on and on about the way Emily writes her books, but the next book is coming out in July 2026. And I'm gonna need it. Like, I submitted myself for the ARC of this book. I didn't get it. I will get the second book as an ARC. I will. Mark my days. Mark my words. I will get the ARC. Emily, if you're watching this, sign me up. Thank you. So then I have My Fault, Your Fault, Our Fault by Mercedes Ron. I have not a lot to say about the series, or a lot to say at the same time as not a lot to say. Like, I could go on and on about these books, okay? So the fun part was, I know Our Fault just got released as the new movie, like it just came out. But let's start with My Fault. I watched the movie like 2 or 3 times, and I was like, okay, let me pick up the book, because I got these from the work, so they were like £15. And I was like, okay, these are like one of the last books I need to read for my physical TBR to have finished it. And you know, I'm gonna read it. So that being said, My Fault. This book I gave 3.5 or 4 stars. Around-ish, because like I said, I know what the book was going to be because I watched the movie. I will say the movie was made dramatic. Like the whole car scene that she's going to be shot, like with their racing, it isn't in the book. I was like waiting for it, but other than that, like the whole pacing of the book, of the movie and the book are the same, but the movie was made a bit more dramatic. Well, just a teeny bit. Like some scenes were made dramatically. Like I get it. Like, you know, I think that car scene was why a lot of people watched it, but still, my fault. My favorite book out of the series. So that's not a very good premise for the other books. Then we have Your Fault, and this actually picks up right where My Fault ends. So I'm just gonna say this was a 3 stars. 3, I think. It was fun. Nick, very cringe. I cringed way too much during this entire book. I was like, no. At one times I wanted to DNF, and I was like, no, I'm gonna circle through. I want to know what happens next, because it was also, you know, getting me intrigued because there was so much drama and stuff going on. And I was like, okay, I need to know. But yeah, Nick was cringe for the age that he needs to be. Get your stuff sorted out. Go see your therapist, please. And then we have Our Fault, and this is like almost a year later than where Your Fault ends. One word, even more cringe than Your Fault. Yeah, so this was not the series for me, but I can see why people would like it. Like if I were like 5 years younger, I would have eaten this series entirely up, because I know I read after. I don't have the book anymore, but I read it, and I was like, if I read it in the same era, I would have ate this up, because I ate after up. Like every time I opened after, I had to finish it. You know, like these are in the same category. If you're like older, please don't read those. If you're younger, be aware of the spice scenes, because you know, just be aware of them. Then After a Season by Brendan Weaver. Also 3.5 stars. A lot of books were 3.5 stars this month, but that's not a bad rating. 3 stars actually for me, good reading. Or good rating, like 3 stars. I would recommend. It wasn't my favorite, but it's still good, you know. But this is one of the last books I read, because you know I was like, oh, spooky. I wanted to read this in October because it gives me like a really big spooky vibes. So yeah. The chemistry was there. The book was fun. This is newest release. It's gonna be a new trilogy. I read Butcher and Blackbird, like the whole Ruden's Love trilogy as well. Really liked it. Like Sky and Sparrow really ended up high. Ended the series like really high. That's what I really enjoy about it. I really like that this was also filled with like an enemies to lovers, because he comes to this small town to kill her because she killed her brother. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about this book. You should pick this up. It's also dark romance, so check trigger warnings before going into it. Then I have 2 books as well. This is also a series. I read Ruthless Fate and The Reckoning by Caroline Packman and Suzanne Valenti. This was fun. Like Ruthless Fate, I really liked it. I really flew through this. Like the amount of pages didn't feel like the amount of pages that it had. Like I think I finished it also in 2 days, because I was like flipping through it. I had to go through it. Very fast paced. Writing was great. Characters were fun. Like this was still setting the world up, because where the awakening ends, it also picks up where that ends, I think. So it really picks up after everything. So I really liked it. This was a 4 stars. Then I have The Reckoning. This book, 600 pages. Still I read it pretty fast, but I feel like if you were to get some of the spice scenes out of this book, it would be 500 pages, and then it would be a high rating for me, because a lot of the scenes were felt really necessary to the whole book. It was like, okay, we get it now. You and you are together. Get it through it, because you know it wasn't really the vibe. But I settled I think at a 3.5 stars of this book, because I was like debating between a 3.5 and a 4, because I really liked it. The writing was great and everything. but like the whole, like, this the problem I had was the length. Like, a lot of was happening here, and then the trials start, and I was like, oh, we're gonna get like 300 pages of trials because they're gonna die and they're very hard. And you know, they set up the whole premise of these the reckoning. It's gonna be hard. There's gonna be a lunar eclipse. It's gonna be drama. It's gonna be killing people. That didn't happen. They had to go through 4 trials, and I think they didn't even reach 5 pages for the trials. Like, you have this book, this thick ass book. You could have done more with the trials. You know, I feel like the trials were like quickly written off and be like, pop. And then like the whole spy scenes were like really great written out, and I was like, maybe she should have switched these, you know. I wouldn't mind like a fade to black scene sometimes in these kind of books, but that's why I settled on a 3.5. Yeah. So then we have the last few books that I read. Like, there's gonna be stacks all around me right now. So yeah. So just to keep in the trend of dark romances and stuff, I read Nightfall by Penelope Douglas. This break of a book. And I don't know if you watched my October TBR. I would have read this entire series in October, but I finished almost every book in September. So I read Nightfall. I think I settled with this book on a 3 or 3.5. Just because also the length of this book, like the whole premise was really great. Like, they're on this island and they have to escape, and why are they there, you know? And then they escape and stuff happens and everything. And I'm like, a little spice. Could have been a Fade Black scene, you know? That's the problem I had this month with a lot of books. Like, I wasn't in the mood to read like a lot of spice. Like I said, this book 1/3 could be spiced. If you're not into it, don't read this. But still, the writing was fun and the whole book was fun. Wasn't my favorite out of the series. So yeah. Then we have Fire Night this is like the last novella of the Devil's Night series. And this felt really like a reward. After reading this, I read this and I was like, oh, 100 pages. It's like, this is a treat. This is a gift. But this is basically just a Christmas novella with like all the characters coming back and celebrating the festivities. Isn't too special, 3 stars. Fun, not necessary. Okay, I'm gonna keep like the best read for last. So then I read Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. Like I said, a lot of 3.5 stars. This was also one of them. I feel like this read the same way as Carafal did. And Carafal is a young adult read, and I can talk. But Alchemy of Secrets was gonna be her first adult book. I don't know, felt very YA. But the premise is she can't trust anyone. That's basically the whole point of it. She can't trust anyone. She's being gaslit by everyone, which was fun. The beginning really started off very strong, and then the middle was a bit, and then the ending was like strong again. But I feel like if the beginning of the middle had been a bit stronger, this book was gonna be higher rated. Like the ending, I'm excited to see where the rest of the series goes, because I think there's gonna be 2 more books. Like, it's gonna be a trilogy as well. So she made an announcement on Instagram, but I don't know for sure. But I'm excited to see where those go, because if they're gonna be the same people as in this book, like the same characters, or they're gonna be different characters, could be interconnected. I don't know what's gonna be going on, but this was a fun read, like around 300 pages. Like, I just wanted a great book in between reading all these fake books, so that's why I read it. Then last night I finished Thief of Night by Holly Black. And this is a 3 stars. This is a second book to The Book of Night, which is her first book as well. I think this is gonna be gonna be like adult romance, fantasy, romantasy, if I say it correctly. Don't come for me if I don't say it correctly. But her first book came out 4 or 5 years ago. This just came out. Last year I had really troubles to keep track of what's going on with the book. Like, this doesn't even reach 280 pages. I was gonna be like, bad, I'm gonna read this in a day, I'm gonna read this in a night, I can do this. And then it took me like 2 days because God knows what was going on in this book. I don't know. Yeah, if you ask me what's going on in this book, I would just say I don't know. I don't know, man, I don't know. But yeah, still fun. Like I said, 3 stars. It's not a bad rating. Like, I enjoyed my time with it. Like, characters, I really liked characters. Like Charlie, I know that when I read the Book of Night, Charlie was my favorite character, and she still is. But you know, I also don't know what's going on. But I will never get rid of this book because it's signed by Holly Black. So yeah. And the last but not least, I have Revolve by Belle Cabra. I read this as an arc. That's why I said best for last. It was an arc that I read, and this is the Works edition. I really liked it. I really loved that I could get my hands on this. But this was a 4.5 stars. It was a hockey romance. He gets kicked off his team because of some stuff that happens, and she had a major fall when she had competition, so she's getting back into the whole ice skating, figure skating, and he's gonna be her partner because her partner stopped being her partner, and now they partner up, and the tension and everything, like, it was so forbidden, and oh, I really liked it. So if you haven't read this series, the first book is Clyde, the second book is Spyro, and you have Revolve. I really like it. This was one of my most anticipated reads for this year, and I'm so happy it didn't disappoint. So, with all these books being read and done and being talked about, I have the book that I'm currently reading. Is Alive in Wales by Bailey Hannah. This is the first book in the series. I don't know what the series is called. Give me a second. This is just Alive in Wales. Oh, the Wales Ranch series. So you have Alive in Wales, Seeing Red, and then Change of Heart. This just basically is a cowboy romance, because I was like, this book has 300 pages. I can finish this before the end of the month, because it is currently the 29th of October when I'm filming this, so I have 3 more days. So I could finish this. I could. So I'm gonna read this, like, when I stop filming. I'm gonna read this book, and if I completely read it and have my thoughts, I will update this vlog and then, or this wrap up, and then, you know, you will see me later on. But if I don't, this might be the end of the video. And so, like I said, I would be back if I finished my book. To be fair, I finished 2 other books. So, like I said, I finished Alive in Wales. It was fun, quick read, nothing too special. I think the rap in this with like domestic violence is great. I will definitely finish the series. Like, there's 2 other parts out right now, and I will definitely read them. So this was a fun, quick read in between like the thicker books I read. And then I also finished The Defender by Anna Wong. This was a 5 stars read for me. I really liked it. It was fast paced. The tension was there. The characters, I liked how diverse they were, how much in depth they went. I think Anna does that really well to go in depth with her characters. Like I said, it was a 5-star read. I started this yesterday morning and I finished this morning. Like, didn't even need 24 hours to read this. It was amazing. Highly recommend if you haven't picked this up already. And then Alive in Wales, I don't know if I said it, but I rated it 3 stars. Like I said, it's not too bad. It's a very in the middle of the road kind of rating. But this was the update. This was my October wrap up. And I hopefully see you in the next one. Goodbye.